I was going to share a little story with you. Whenever I'm asked to speak out to companies around, and I usually speak on customer service, but I always end up my speech telling them about this family who had two little twin boys, and they were exact opposites. One of the little boys was the eternal pessimist, and the other one was the worst. It was the eternal optimist. So they came to the doctor to check them out one day, and went in to visit with the doctor, and he told them, said, well, let's check out and see how, see how they react. So they took the little boy that was the pessimist down to the room down the hall and opened the door. The doctor said, look in here, son, there's toys, every toy in the world you can play with. And so they let the little boy go in and said, son, you go in and play with these toys, and we'll be back in a little bit, see how you're doing. So then they went on down the hall to the next room, and they opened the door, and there was a room, nothing in it but a big pile of horse manure. That was all in the room. And they put the little optimist in that room and said, son, you stay in here, and said, we'll be back in a little bit and check on you. So they went back up to the office and talked a while, and the doctor says, well, so let's go back down and check on them. So we went down to the room where the little pessimist was and all the toys, and they opened the door and looked in, and there he's sitting on the floor just kind of staring down between his legs. And the doctor says, well, son, why aren't you riding on that rocking horse? He said, oh, I was afraid I'd fall off and break my arm. He said, well, how about that toy train? He said, boy, they're a lot of fun. He said, yeah, but I was afraid I'd get shot. And he looked at the parents and said, well, I see what you mean. And so he said, let's go down and check on the other little boys. They went down the hall to where the little optimist was in the room, and they started hearing this racket by the time they got to the door. Well, the doctor opened the door, and there was horse manure on the wall, it was on the ceilings, it was everywhere, and this little boy was on all fours in that pile of horse manure just digging for all he was worth. And the doctor says, whoa, son, says, what in the world are you doing? He said, I know with this much horse manure, there got to be a pony in here somewhere.